Hi, I'm Shakila, and I'll be talking to you today about working in the hospital setting. I'll be letting you know the pros and cons of working in the hospital setting. And hopefully by the end of this speech, you would have been made the decision to come join me in the hospital. Today in America alone, 1.7 million hospital beds are filled daily due to the drastic incline of advanced medication in aging Americans. There are a few benefits of working in the hospital. You have the benefits for the non-experienced and non-licensed professionals. The first one is a volunteer. To be a volunteer, you have to, you don't have to have any experience at all. Volunteers can be teenagers, everyday adults, or even elderly. When you're a teenager and you volunteer in the hospital, you tend to just walk around and make sure people have what they need. You pass out newspapers. You tend to make sure people are comfortable, people are okay. You tend to try to extend your services, even if you have a lost person. Normally, teenagers, when they volunteer at the hospital, they try to see if working in the hospital and working in the medical field is their is the right way to go. When you're an adult working volunteer at the hospital, you tend to want trying to get your foot in the door. You know, hey, listen, you see, I'm coming in a volunteer. Maybe they may want to give me a job. And normally, the elderly, when they volunteer at the hospital, it's because they've retired and they want to have something to keep them going. You can be a transporter. When you're a transporter, you assist patients to and from their procedures. You also assist patients walking around, their mobility around the hospital and make sure that they're up and moving with their activities. You can be a nursing assistant. The nursing assistant, they deal more directly with the nursing staff. The nursing assistants, they tend to do vital signs, lab draws. They can do daily activities with the patients. They can feed the patients. They're the ones that interact mostly with the patients and the families. You can be a medical biller. A medical biller, basically, they're the people that when you come in the hospital, they take your identification and your insurance cards, and they put everything that they need to put in the system as far as your personal information, your insurance information, and they tend to make sure everything runs smoothly. So that way the nursing staff can tend to you as far as your physical being. You can be a secretary. A secretary, they tend to answer phones, direct calls. They assist with putting in orders. They assist the nurses with ordering supplies. And they tend to help, they also help visitors and families to make sure that they're sitting in the right direction. As far as the licensing graduate students or graduate professionals, the hospital is a great place for new hires and new grads. New grads are people that don't have any experience. And working at the hospital, they tend to look at what you've done during your clinicals. So therefore, that's kind of the experience. A lot of hospitals hire a lot of new grads and new licensed professionals. Job stability is another big thing in the hospital. Due to the advancement in medicine and Asian Americans, there's always a need for a job position in the hospital. Even if sometimes nowadays they've been creating new positions. Every day there's like a new position coming available at the hospital. The Department of Labor had reported that the hospital has the top 8 out of 20 fastest growing professions in the world. The hospital, they offer a very clean and safe work environment. They make sure that things are wiped down, things are sanitized, things are follow protocol for infectious disease purposes. They have a person that comes around and she inspects everything. And J Code is very, very, very strict on making sure the hospital is very clean and neat and tidy. And safe environment, they always have security on duty. Security is there 24/7. They have several security guards that walk around and patrol the hospital and make sure things are safe and okay. And they tend to, if they make an announcement if something's not right, they make sure that they're on the scene in a timely and orderly fashion. Okay. The hospital is a very well respected industry. They focus on teamwork. So therefore you don't never feel like you're alone. Even if you're new to the profession and you don't know what to do, there's always someone there to help you. You go through extensive training, and in case you don't have extensive training, They've seen the classes that will educate you on certain things. If there's new equipment or new protocols, they they see the classes and things like that to help educate you on those things. So you're always getting education, even though you may have spent 10 years of educating, for your profession. Every day you get new education because you can never be too old to learn something. Working in a hospital, you tend to touch lives. If it's from childbirth to saving a life from ending, you're going to touch someone's life. Sometimes, the new moms, they tend to need help with the baby. So you can go in and offer your services. Also, if you have someone that's life is about to end, you make sure that the family is okay. You offer your services. You can pray with them, you can talk with them, you can offer tissues, you can offer chaplain. You try to make people as comfortable as possible. The other thing about working in a hospital is the salary. The salary is very competitive and has a very competitive pay. They offer great salaries from GED to PhD. So the higher your education, the higher your salary. You also have great health insurance because you're working at the hospital. So therefore, they have insurance that kind of benefits them. And they offer great retirement plans. So you can plan for life after the hospital. The cons of working to the hospital is exposure to illnesses. Normally, you might have a patient that you feel like you know what's going on with the patient, but sometimes you may have patients that you might find one thing's going on, and then later down the line, there's something else going on that could be dangerous. And if you get exposed to certain things, the hospital, they're pretty good at following protocol and making sure you, as an employee, also the patient, get proper treatment. Sometimes you witness patients suffering and loved ones suffering. And knowing those situations, you can offer, your comfort, your care, and make sure everybody's okay, make sure everybody has what they need. Sometimes you get unruly patients. And normally unruly patients, they're not necessarily unruly to be unruly. They are there to get treated and they are a patient. So therefore, with that being said, you need to figure out what's going on with that patient. You need to remain calm and try to diffuse the situation. Sometimes the unruly patients, they have psychiatric issues. And in that case, you have to go about it a whole different ball field. And whatever you need to do to diffuse the situation, you need to diffuse the situation and find out what's going on with the patient and make them as comfortable as possible. Night shift. Working night shift is very hard. I can speak on that myself because I've worked night shift for the last 7 years. Day shift nurses, they tend to forget about night shift, and in order for night shift to run smoothly, the day shift needs to order and make sure everything's okay so night shift can run smoothly. I have been working in the medical field for 7 years, like I said before. I've enjoyed it. I've worked days, I've worked nights. I actually started out in the medical field as a volunteer, and right now I'm a nursing assistant. I'm currently in school for my nursing. So they see that I'm in school for my nursing. With that being said, my hospital I work at, they have a tuition reimbursement plan, which also is another benefit of working at the hospital. And also, I am guaranteed a 2 year job stability once I become a nurse. That's another pro of working at the hospital. Since I've been working at the hospital, I have learned how to do phlebotomy. I have learned how to do an echo. I have learned how to do venipuncture sticks, things that I didn't know before. And the reason why I personally like to work at the hospital is because you can always learn something, you can always grow. Even if it's from, you know, being a nursing assistant to being a PhD. Sometimes me being a nursing assistant, I have actually taught registered nurses certain things that they didn't know. And this is another thing also. I enjoy working at the hospital setting because there's always a need for you. You always feel like you're needed. And what brightens my day is the satisfaction smiles on my patients. There's never a dull moment in the hospital. It's ever changing and very dramatic. It's fast paced and you deal with a lot of life and death situations. Patients change by the minute and there's never the same day twice. I hope you enjoyed my speech on the hospital setting, and I hope you one day will decide to come join me in working at the hospital. I'm telling you, it's a great thing to do, and you should really look forward to it.